My fellow Cameroonians, I am Dr. Thompson Akwo, the Chief Editor of Health and Development Magazine, the President, CEO of Health Consulting International, and also the founder of Ntuba Ministry International, and as well as USA, and an international physician, preacher, politician, and publisher of Health and Development Magazine and media, as you know. I come to you to speak to you about the presidential elections, which you are going to the polls in a couple of hours from now. And I want to tell you and open your ears that it may look like a kangaroo thing, the works of the devil, but there are times when you have to resist the devil so that the devil will flee. For many of you, it's an issue of Paul Biya. For many of you, it's an issue of a presidential election whose outcome is never sure. It is unfortunate that Cameroon has a history of botched presidential elections, of rigged presidential elections, as the world has proclaimed through its observers. And so, my fellow Cameroonians, some of you were not born when Paul Biya became president in Cameroon in 82. And some of you, from that time to now, have reached a stage where you qualify by age and other qualification criteria to be president of Cameroon. He became president at the age of 49. He had been in government for more than a decade and a couple of years after. So collectively, he's been in government for close to 65 years. The average lifespan of an African is around 45, 48 to 50 and so. So he's lived more than a lifespan of an African, parasiting in the government of Cameroon, getting resources, getting your taxpayers' money, and using your taxpayers' money and resources for him and his so-called family. And that's not enough. It's been said that he has so much of millions and millions of dollars and above stuck and kept out. That is why he can come during presidential elections and talk about, I have given you this, I've given you that. He cannot explain to Cameroonians how he got those monies out of the accusation and out of the evidences that the world, the international investigators have said, these are all stolen monies out of Cameroon, which have been kept for he and his family. Now, that is theft, that is looting. Besides all the killings and every other thing that is done using state resources, which is called state back and sponsored terrorism, which is in a subtle way, it is meant to intimidate you so that they can always do what they want to do. Presently, it is new cars which have been brought to so-called SDOs. And you know the path and the rules that SDOs plays during these elections. My fellow Cameroonians, make no mistake, nobody has to force themselves to be your president. Nobody owns your ancestral lands. That's the first thing I came to tell you. Cameroon as of today is not the making of you. It's the work of Europeans. And it can be broken into many other little countries, as the Anglophones are saying. That's not what I'm talking about. I am talking about what is about to happen in a couple of hours from now. You are going to the polls. Don't stay back at home because they want you to do that. Go to the polls, cast your votes, and make sure that you secure your vote. Be there until the votes are proclaimed. Be there until the results of the polling stations are proclaimed. According to the law, the parties or Cameroonians have the right to report the results as they are coming in. And anybody, I repeat, anybody who tries to intimidate you contrary, whether they call themselves whatever, you know what to do and do it. We are behind you as we are working with the international partners, with the international governments, showing light on what it is. The law says that the results are supposed to be proclaimed. That is why the SDF party has made it clear that they are not waiting for election. They are going to follow the law. And any idiot or ignorant fool, whatever they call themselves, who want to come against the law of Cameroon, they will be the one breaking the law, and you will have to deal with them. I am not asking you who to vote for. That's not my issue. If I was going to vote, I would not be voting for Paul Biya. Paul Biya is not mentally stable. The last visit he made to the United Nations and to the US was very clear, when he looked like a Senate imbecile before the international community. And his people around him were embarrassed. He could not talk. He looked confused. The papers presented to him, he didn't know what he was actually doing there. For many years, we have not had a president address the United Nations as a Cameroonian leader. And therefore, even the so-called head of government that they call Diogute, who to me is very weak and needs some brains in his head, is not used to represent Cameroon, because Cameroon is supposed to have a head of government. And heads of governments address the United Nations on behalf of their country. If the president is not there, it's expected that the prime minister will be doing that. That doesn't happen because of the stupidity and foolishness of those who are there. If somebody works very hard, like you have seen Barack Obama being president for 8 years, he became gray. If Paul Biya was working, 20 years is too much to be president of a country. You will die, because being a president as you are working, it can be very stressful. How come that he wants to be president for more than 50 years? That is unacceptable. What I am saying is that you go to the polls, you vote, and you secure your vote. They will try to intimidate you. They will try to kill you because they are not there. With his kangaroo constitutional council that is made up of his tribal people at the head. You've seen in the beginning of the process what they have done. It shows what they intend to do. It's all a plan that has been hatched over many years by a tribal people called Bulu Betie Wundos. First, they don't belong to your lands. Your ancestral lands belong to you. So first, in your locality, make sure that you protect your vote, protect your land, and protect your people. If need arises, you may have to send them away. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Because you are the ones who are saying enough is enough. And you have told the international community that is enough. And we are hearing that from young adults, young Cameroonians in the universities, in high schools, who seem to understand what is going on. And we thank you. You've been lied to over and over. And of course, 7 years is too long for somebody who is disabled, who is senile. You could say a senile embassy. And as Donald Trump says, dumb as a rock, as he's showing around. When last did you see him in other parts of Cameroon in the last 7 years? All he does is enjoy himself, use Cameroon money and resources, the ones that he has stolen, the ones that he has looted, the people that he has killed, including Martinez Nzogo, a journalist who was exposing what they do. You are unaware of those things. Will you, in your right senses and mind, have somebody like that to be your president? It's your decision to make. I am speaking to you as one of you, out of the United States, where I've been in exile for 21 years because of the stupidity and the nonsense and the satanism and occultism. They belong to all sorts of occultic organizations that you all know, and you know the activities that they carry out. My fellow Cameroonians, nobody should force themselves on you as president, and you have the right to be called a president too. Cameroon belongs to you. It's not their property, even though they take it upon themselves to go to these occultic organizations and be calling it Montpellier, as they set you people up for destruction. The time is now, and the change you are looking for is you, is your vote, and you secure that vote. Don't be afraid. Long live my fellow Cameroonians. Long live my brothers and sisters. Good luck.